Coming up on this edition of Two Right Turns, we're talking to 2020 All-American and now Safeties coach Nolan Turner, as well as two new additions in his room, transfers Corey Myrick and Jerome Carter III. Two Right Turns starts now.
You take those two right turns, and when they make the final turn, they can begin to hear the crowd and the noise of the open end of the stadium.
Here it is, the most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
Hello, everybody, and welcome inside Studio C of the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute for another episode of Two Right Turns, a Clemson football podcast. My name is Ross Taylor, your host for this episode, and we're taking the back end of the Clemson defense and putting it in front of the spotlight of today's episode. So as we go around the room, if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself by your name, jersey number, if applicable, and where you're coming from and what position you play.
I'll go first. Jerome Carter. I play safety, number 6. I'm coming from Old Dominion University.
My name is Corey Myrick. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Came from Southern Miss, and I play safety number 22.
Then Nolan Turner from Birmingham, Alabama. Jersey number is not applicable. And Coach Turner now to you too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say the jersey number is not applicable, but I think people remember the 24, so we can at least go ahead and throw in number 24 right there. But Nolan, we'll circle back to you in a little bit. I want to start with Corey and Jerome because as the portal opened and Clemson was very active in this transfer cycle, I mean, you all were very clearly two top targets. Clemson, showed interest in you all quick, and you all were very quick to decide on Clemson. But I am curious, anybody who has ever done a job interview or a blind date hates the question, tell us about yourself, right? But if y'all can, maybe just give us a little bit of your background, where you're coming from even prior to your previous stop or stops, and just how you ended up here at Clemson.
I came from Columbia High School. That's where I went to high school at. I went there all 4 years. I played with a good amount of people.
Lake City.
Yeah, Lake City, Florida. Yeah, that's where I came from, though. After hitting the transfer portal, though, Clemson was on me hard, and I seen fit. We'll get into that later, though.
Yeah.
About why I came here and what was the reason I came here.
Yeah, and Corey, it was a couple stops for you, right?
Yeah, I took a couple stops. I stopped by Memphis. I had a coaching change down at Southern Miss, so coaching change. Tried to follow my coach for a little minute just to give him some opportunities. So hearing from Coach Allen, Coach Turner, Coach Sweeney, just felt like this was the place and made this my last stop.
Well, and curious to hear about the timeline of how everything happens, because, I mean, it is very rapid. It's very quick. Curious to hear from you all. Did you know going into the process that you thought Clemson might be an option, or was it one of those that you get a number that randomly pops up and you have to figure it out, who it was real quick? Just tell me how that process went for you all.
Coach Sweeney had called me. I think it was like about 12 o'clock in the morning. He called me and it was like he wanted me and stuff. I only had one visit set up at that time to go to Louisville. I took that visit, and then I tried to get here as quick as I could after learning, that they wanted me here, what they seen in me and stuff. And I felt like this would be a place that I could exceed at.
You say as quick as you could. I mean, like literally from the minute you pick up the phone and it's Coach Sweeney on the other end to when you're walking in the doors of the Allen and Reeves football complex to come see it. How tight of a turnaround was that?
I say about a week.
Okay.
Was it a week?
I think less than that.
A couple of days, actually.
Yeah.
I think it was like 3-4 days.
Corey, was it similar for you?
Yeah, I think we was actually here on the same day. So I was trying to get things set up going because I know the portal would come in, but you feel me? People go in, but they looking for people to come out also. So
yeah,
just really trying to come out. I was trying to hurry up and find a home. So just felt right when I came here to talk to Sweetie and got here quick.
Were y'all around each other much on the visit?
Yeah,
we was around each other a lot.
For sure.
Were you guys almost like recruiting each other at that point? Like, did you feel it in the vibe or what?
Yeah,
I mean,
what happened when I came in that room with Coach Sweeney?
We was going through the process, and then this coach is telling us like how they wanted things to go, about how the safety position was, and just going through the whole defensive schemes and stuff. And then when he actually committed, he came in, we had a little conversation about 2-3 seconds while you feel me, Coach Sweeney was talking to his parents, and then we ended up texting and made it right.
Yeah.
Well, and Nolan, for you, as this process came about, what was really the process of evaluating everybody that was available? But it seemed like y'all really locked in and honed in on these guys pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean, obviously this portal is like speed dating, right? So this thing opens up really quick. You got a list of guys who, you've evaluated who had already entered the portal, and, you start making phone calls and try to get the guys that are the right fit here, and you're talking to a lot of different people. You're talking to former coaches, high school coaches, people who have spent time around these guys and really doing your due diligence, man. And we just felt like these dudes just were competitors, obviously have been super productive at former places, and, just played a lot of ball, which was important. And, we're just really found the right fit when we got these guys here and got them around the coaches and the staff, and, just saw that they really fit Clemson as much as we fit them.
And I'm curious for you all. I mean, the recruiting process, there's so many coaches involved, obviously Coach Sweeney, Coach Allen, but all the way down to, all the support staff. But you had Nolan Turner, who's now in this new role. What role did he play in the recruiting process, and how did you all kind of connect with him immediately?
He played a major role. Just having a coach, that got experience and that played the game. That's who you want to be coached by, because he understands. He understands the situations that you will be in and stuff, and you can go and talk to him.
Picking off what Rome said, just having a coach that played, been in our shoes here actually, so just learning from everything, this building inside and out. So just being able to play under him and then learn everything he knows.
Yeah, you get to play for a guy who's lived it.
No doubt.
It's a guy who has worn this jersey. That paw means something to him, but he also, he was not just some player. I mean, I don't know how much y'all know, but that's a 2020 All-American. Had an incredible career here that, frankly, I'm editorializing here a little bit, probably doesn't get enough credit just by virtue of him being an overlooked recruit, but the career he put together here was unbelievable. For the two of you, I am, Clemson fans are so excited to have you all, and we've read about you and we've heard about you, but probably a lot of them have not watched y'all play, or at least have done so very closely. So if you all had to come up with, in the scouting world, what they call comps, like who would you say your game, I don't want to say is necessarily modeled after, but if there's maybe an NFL safety or a college safety or someone that you think your game is similar to, who would that be?
I would say Kyle Hamilton.
Okay.
Just because I got the length of him. I'm long like him. He can go attack the ball. He got versatility. He can play anywhere on the field. He a ball hawk.
Yeah. Corey?
Yeah, I'll say a new guy, actually. His name, Kalen Bullock. His second year in the league.
Yeah.
Kind of same body type, same frame, same thought of the game. He really an alley-to-alley player, pulls the trigger, but can play that post sideline to sideline. So just really studying him and try to model my game as much as I can out of him going into the season.
Nolan, grade the comps for me. How accurate are those?
Pretty accurate. I like that, actually. I like that. We'll see. Jerome, Kyle Hamilton, that's a good one right there.
Good.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Big expectation.
So we're going to test your safety knowledge a little bit. Test is the wrong word, but play a little game here. I'm curious, with two current safeties in the room as well as a former great safety in the room, we want to come up with a safety Mount Rushmore. And it doesn't have to be Clemson, like NFL player, anybody who has ever played the game and played the position. I want to know, each one of you gets 4 names. There can be overlap. Y'all can all choose the same people. But whoever wants to go first, give me your safety Mount Rushmore. Who are the 4 faces that are getting carved into that rock?
Ed Reed got to be on there.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. From the jump. Ed Reed, he got to be number 1.
We're going to have the same ones.
Yeah, I'll say, studying. Not even studying, just watching, like, clips and stuff. Because obviously when Troy Polamalu was in the league, I was young. So watching clips and stuff, Troy Polamalu, he was a dog, I'll say. So who y'all think?
I say, all right, I'll go. I say Sean Taylor.
The late Sean Taylor. Ed Reed.
Hard though.
That's tough. There's so many good ones.
So many good. Brian Dawkins, I say.
Clemson's own.
Clemson grad.
I was gonna give you all a little education if that name didn't come up.
Need one more. Ronnie Lott.
I was gonna say the old heads are gonna tell you Ronnie Lott for sure. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I was gonna say, without leaving anybody out, 4s. There's a lot of great safeties.
Backs.
B-Dog was gonna be number 1, Clemson guy. Troy Polamalu was going to be my 2. I'm a big fan of Charles Woodson and his game.
Yeah.
And then shout out John Lynch as my 4.
Yeah, good shout out for John Lynch right there. No, I like that. Those are quality Mount Rushmore. I like I said, we were going to have a problem if Brian Dawkins didn't end up on there somewhere, but he could adjudicate any issues with that better than I could. So don't have to worry about that. Nolan, we want to talk about your journey. I mean, we mentioned a little bit your recruiting story into the great career you had here. Into an undrafted free agent opportunity with the Buccaneers. You end up making their roster. I'm just curious, you had opportunities to continue playing at the professional level, but it seemed like you were called to coaching. What was it about coaching, and why did you decide to just go ahead and start that career path?
Yeah, I'll say, as soon as kind of my NFL career was over, when I got cut and down in Tampa, had a few other opportunities in the this new UFL league, Canada, those kind of deals to try to have an opportunity to earn my way back. And I was sitting there and I was 26 years old, and I played a lot of football, and I've always had a passion to coach. Right, I've always had a passion to just pour in wisdom and just pour in knowledge of the game to younger guys. And I felt like that was something I did when I was here with guys that were younger than me, and I've always really had a passion for it. And so that was just kind of a turning point there for me, and I had a decision to make, and it was either to continue to train and chase that football goal of mine. And I'd reached out to Coach Sweeney, and I knew I wanted to coach, and I just felt like it was the right time for me to make that transition.
I'm curious what you learned at the pro level, of which I'm sure it's substantial. But for as long as you were here and as experienced and as much wisdom as you accrued at Clemson, you go to the NFL level. And in the time you were there, I mean, just how did your development, even for coaching in the future, how did that accelerate, and what did you learn from the NFL?
Yeah, well, I think there's so much. Obviously, at the pro level, like, you have to really at the pro level, you really have to really exemplify so many different areas to be successful, right? And so you learn so much from some of those guys. And obviously, when I was here, I had a lot of great examples of dudes that went on and played and are still playing and having great careers. And I think, at the NFL level, just probably the number one thing you learn is consistency, right? Like, the guys who make it, the guys who have longevity in the game are consistent in everything they do, right? How they take care of their bodies, how they study, how they train. It's a lifestyle, right? It all goes into it. And so I think just learning from guys at that level who just model that consistency, it was something that I tried to chase every day as well to, in my life.
Well, speaking of guys who modeled consistency and longevity in the league, you were with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the early part of this decade. They had a quarterback that some people know, a gentleman by the name of Tom Brady. If we could pop this tweet up on the screen, I realize it's in practice, so it may not be in the record books, but if you have picked off Tom Brady before, raise your hand. Yeah, you can raise it higher than that. No. I've got to know. Look, I realize this is in training camp or whatever, but there has to be a moment like, dude, I just picked off Tom Brady. Tell me what that moment was like.
So it was the first day of pads in camp, my first training camp down there. I was running, with the threes or whatever, the third group, and I don't know what happened. Somehow the rotations must have got mixed up. When I looked up, Tom was in there, and usually he's running with the ones. So I'm not sure what happened there from a substitution standpoint, but this was a training camp practice, and one of our good on good periods, and obviously had a opportunity to make a play on the ball. He threw me one, and I capitalized on it, and that was a cool moment. Just as a guy that I had watched my entire life growing up, and now had an opportunity to share the field with and compete against at practice. That was a pretty cool moment.
The equipment guy with the Buccaneers, Brad Berlin, is a former colleague and a friend of mine. That's one of those, I understand you're an undrafted free agent and you don't want to rock the boat at all, but that's one after practice, hey, can I get the ball? Yeah. That's one that probably ends up on a shelf somewhere. Nolan, talking about your transition from playing to coaching, one of the things that stuck out to me that I remember in 2021, in your final year here, was a year that, not so coincidentally, one of your running mates in the safety group, freshman Andrew Makuba, won ACC Defensive Rookie of the Year. And probably the best year he had of his 3 here. And I don't think it was a coincidence based on things I've heard other people say or what he said, that it happened when he had you to lean on and help guide him. And he had spoken rather extensively on the fact that he just tried to attach himself to you and has learned as much as he could from you. I knew you say you always wanted to go into coaching, but was there something about that, quote unquote, super senior season where you saw the vision even more with your mentorship of him?
Yeah. I think for me, kind of like we talked about, like I always took a lot of pride in mentoring the younger guys. 'Cause I'd been that guy before. You come in and you don't know a whole lot and you're trying to figure things out. A lot of things are moving fast and, you're always kind of looking for mentors and guys to pour into you, right? And so as a guy who had been here for 6 years at that time, kind of the original super seniors right after COVID, he's coming in and we're probably like a 5-6 years age gap, right? I saw a lot of potential in him, just a great kid, humble spirit to him. And, I was just blessed to be in a position to really pour into him and some of those other younger guys in the team. And I think like just running meetings, being the older guy, the leader of that group, like I enjoyed that, right? I'm a football junkie, love talking ball, love teaching the game and just things that I'd learned along the way. And so I think like, part of that sparked the coaching interest in me for sure. And that's, really why I do it now.
Well, let's dive a little deeper because our fans have frankly, they've helped guide who joined us on this episode because they really want to hear from Jerome and Corey and a lot of this new class that has come in. But Jerome, you're not just Jerome Carter, you're Jerome Carter III, right?
Yeah.
And so tell me a little bit, is it Jerome Jr. or Jerome II? What does he go by?
Jerome Jr.
Jerome Jr. Tell me a little bit, for those who don't know, tell us about Jerome Jr.
That's my dad. He played football at the same high school I played at. He graduated from there. He went to Florida State, 2001 to 2004, played there. He was blessed enough to have a chance to go to the NFL from 2005 to 2008. He played with the St. Louis Rams at that time, and he went with the Dallas Cowboys, but he got cut.
Yeah.
But growing up, I just always used to do a lot of things with him as a young kid, like just being out there by his side, running up hills and stuff, not knowing what it was. But he the reason like that I go so hard in football, him and my mama. Because just growing up watching him, it just put the fire in me, wanting to play football.
You mentioned the fact that he played on some really good Florida State teams, including some that had some battles here at Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
What does your Seminole father think about having a son at Clemson?
He's good with it. He say he always gonna be a Noel for life, but now that I'm here, he gonna be a fan because I'm his son. He gonna follow me everywhere I go. He always been in my corner, and he's just excited for me.
One of the things I was amused by, I was reading some interviews he did either during the recruiting process or right after, and he seems like a guy who will tell it like it is.
Oh, yeah, he definitely going to tell the truth.
Seems very candid, but you mentioned that you're somewhat following in his footsteps, but just how much of a benefit has that been to you? How much have you leaned on having a father who's done it at the highest levels, and what kind of resource is that for you?
It's a great resource. I can go to him and talk to him about different things. He tells me like my bad sides, my good sides. He's not just going, just because I'm his son, just let the great things that I do or the good things that I do, just build up on me. He gonna definitely tell me what I did wrong, what I need to work on. I can go to him and ask him about like different type of techniques and stuff, and he'll tell me. It's just a lot of stuff that I can go to him about, and he's a good resource for all of that. It don't even have to be with the football field either. It can be about school or, about just my life in general.
Well, he's going to fit right in when the parents get together. We got a lot of NFL alumni that have sons here, so whether it's Keith Brooking or Brandon Jacobs, he's going to find a lot of other NFL guys in that room that he'll enjoy being around. I don't know if you know this, so he played one of the games that has frequently been cited by Coach Sweeney as one of the reasons Coach Sweeney is still here.
Yeah,
did Coach Sweeney give you that story?
They was talking about that because I think Florida State was up winning that game. I don't remember what year it was, but they was talking about it in our meeting when I came here on my official visit and stuff. just how they came back and won, how Clemson came back and won. I don't really remember what Coach Sweeney said about it for real, but I know they was talking about it in our meeting.
Yeah, so for those who don't know, in 2003, Clemson was going through a pretty rough season to start, and this was under head coach Tommy Bowden. Coach Sweeney was in his first year as a wide receivers coach here, and Clemson came home for the Bowden Bowl, Tommy Bowden versus Bobby Bowden. Florida State was ranked number 3 in the country, and, you know, everybody's wondering, like, is the coaching staff going to get fired? Are they going to blow everybody out? Well, you know, you're not going to, you know, fire a head coach right before the Bowden Bowl or whatever. And Clemson comes in and actually ends up upsetting Florida State and becomes the hottest team in the country down the stretch, wins the rest of their games, win their bowl game. And Coach Sweeney to this day credits that victory with, frankly, saving his job at Clemson. And if he doesn't continue as the wide receivers coach, he doesn't eventually become the interim, doesn't become the winningest head coach in ACC history. So, it was really funny as I was thinking about that. I looked it up. Your dad had 7 tackles in that game, so it's not like he was just standing on that. What would that be? The north sideline, just hanging out.
Yeah.
He was balling out, even if the Tigers got the better of him that day. Yeah. Corey, one thing I am curious to hear from you about, and one thing I want to impress to our fans that don't know. I mean, this is your 3rd school, but some of this is by virtue of, again, you followed a head coach. And what I don't want lost in all of this is that everybody sees all the free movement of players right now, but one of the things I don't think they understand is, you know, they always see the coach leaving, and every now and then he'll take a few players with him. But there are a lot of guys who are left behind. And a lot of times that's by design, right? Like a coach gets a fresh start. Hey, I can go find better players. I think it's really instructive when a head coach goes somewhere and is adamant about bringing a guy with him because of what it says about the player. And so you had multiple seasons under Coach Charles Huff at multiple schools. What did it mean to you to have a head coach kind of stand on the table and want to bring you with him?
It meant everything for real. Coach Huff was like, he was like a friend, like a brother, a big brother, a friend. It was just like, playing for a coach, he will be one of them that you want to go play for. So, like, with him leaving from Marshall and making the transition to Southern Miss, he was just like, I know how the programs run. I know what he wants, and he know what I want and what I'm trying to lead to and make it to the NFL and with bigger goals even on and off the field. So, like, just going with him and him having the respect and the trust to bring me with him to, you feel me, continue to go on where he got on, it meant everything to me.
You talk about having a coach you want to play for. I mean, obviously, it's going to be vastly different styles from Coach Huff to Coach Sweeney. But whenever you met Coach Sweeney, what is it about him, beyond all the success he's had, that makes him somebody you want to play for?
I really said the relationships. Like, as you can see, Nolan here, he played for Coach, or I don't know if you played for Coach Sweeney? Yeah. Played for Coach Sweeney. Played for Coach Sweeney, came in. You feel me? Now he a coach. My bad. Now he a coach. So, I mean, it's just a lot, like, former alumni that came from Clemson that's now on staff. So just the relationships building with your head coach, you know, you could talk to him on and off the field about life, about football, anything. So just having a relationship that you can have with the coach.
As far as your transferring experience goes, I think a lot of people just, you know, look, they turn on the TV and you're in a new helmet and it is what it is. And, you know, hey, everything's easy and poof, you're just in a new school, no big deal. But like with this being your 3rd school and your 2nd time transferring, how much did you learn from your first transition, and how has that helped you transition at Clemson?
Just to be ready for anything, for real. So me going into my 2nd school, being ready for different program, different ways things ran, different schemes, just everything for real. So just being able to adjust quicker than I was at my last school, for real.
Well, I don't want to be the only one asking questions, so we're going to open up the fan mailbag presented by the South Carolina Department of Social Services. Learn more about public adoption by visiting dss.sc.gov. This first question is going to be for Corey and Jerome. What has encouraged you the most to keep playing the game you love?
I would just say the love for the game that I developed as a young child. Just watching my dad, like I said earlier. Just putting that fire into me to keep going. And then I would say my family, just the sacrifices that they made for me to keep playing the game when they didn't have to. That's what makes me keep going.
I'll say the same, for real. Just going from playing in the backyard, for real. Picking up the love for the game and just been playing since I was 4 years old. And too many sacrifices to come from this game to stop at an early age or wherever, you feel me, that I felt like that I could kept going. So just picking up the love for the game at an early age and continue to keep playing.
I love that. All right, next question is going to go to Nolan. How does it feel to coach the position you played at your alma mater?
It's truly a blessing. It really is. I take a ton of pride in this place, a place that invested so much in me. And, I really just want to pour that investment back into this place, right? And obviously, I was here for a long time, coached by some of the same coaches that are here. And, this place really changed me as a man. It's probably where I've seen the most development in my life was probably the 6 years I spent here at Clemson. And I just really want to come back here to pour into all these guys that have that same opportunity that I did.
Corey and Jerome, next question. Our fans are very curious about, the student-athlete experience and making sure that you all experience and appreciate and love Clemson the same way they do. So they want to know, what was your first day on campus like? Or let's say even your visit. What were your first impressions?
Go ahead, Ron.
I would say I just fell in love with everything from the facility to the stadium, the beautiful stadium. I didn't really get to go see classes and stuff like that, but I just it's like a country town. That's where I'm from, so it's a lot of woods and stuff like that. So that's what I really like.
Yeah, I say the same. Just loving the campus, loving the guys around. Just beautiful facilities. My first day on campus, I actually got towed, I think. So.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Clemson.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So just getting that together. I mean, other than that, I can't say I could say anything too bad about it. So.
Well, I've seen the former commissioner of our conference get towed, so you're in good company. You're not the first, and you're not going to be the last. I can tell you that much. One more question. This is for all three of you, and actually, Nolan, I'm going to make sure you're last on this because I want to hear them go first. What is everyone's vision for the 2026 Safeties room?
Be the most dominant group on the field, play fast, physical, and smart.
Corey?
I say like you said, be the most dominant group on the field, aggressiveness, explosive, and winners.
My vision for these guys, first and foremost, is toughness and physicality, right? We want to be a feared group in the back end, right? Whether that's, taking shots, coming across the middle, like receivers ought to fear you coming across the middle, right? And then the ball hawking ability, right? Like we got to go attack the football. We pride ourselves on takeaways, and my vision for us is toughness, physicality, and takeaways this year, right? So those are the three things for me.
I can agree with all that.
There are children of all ages in South Carolina who are in need of a forever home. Many are teens, siblings, or have complex medical needs. Public adoption through the South Carolina Department of Social Services can not only be life-changing for them, it can be life-changing for you too. When you provide stability, guidance, and support, you're giving a young person the foundation to succeed. Learn more about public adoption in South Carolina at dss.sc.gov.
All right, so as we close up the mailbag, as we are taping this, where we are in the calendar, we're kind of right in the middle of match drills, all-in drills, and so you guys have gotten a little taste of it here. You've been around your teammates, been on the field together, even if it's not, football-specific necessarily. But one of the things that struck me in the first mat drill we had, I'll give our fans that don't know a little bit of insight. Everything is broken up into 8 periods, right? And it's basically 8 rotations. And the way that it's structured, every 2 periods is a quarter. So after 6 periods, it's the end of the third quarter. We throw on the fourth quarter video. Everybody's fours go up. We start playing Pursuit of Happiness after it starts jumping around. But I was struck. I was watching your group and watching you two going into period 7, the start of the fourth quarter. And both of you guys were just jumping around and in everybody's face. And it felt like you had total command of your group. And I was like, these are guys that have, we can count on 1 or 2 hands, how many weeks they've been here. And it seemed like you guys had no problem taking on leadership roles.
Yeah.
And I'm just curious, where does that come from? And is that something you felt challenged to do? Is that natural? I mean, how did that come about?
I mean, coaches brought us here for a reason. We older guys. We got a lot of experience. So just to pick the younger guys up and pick the guys our age up, just get juice. That's what you need. It's about mental toughness. And if nobody gonna bring the juice or jumping around, then it's just gonna be mellow the whole time, and everybody gonna be thinking about themselves. So it really just came natural, for real.
Yeah, I say it came natural. We first day of my drills, me and Ron was actually talking. We was talking a lot about competitiveness. We gonna push each other every time. We gonna try to go first. We're gonna try to raise every rep. So just having that competitiveness, I feel like it trickled down in the safety room. Everybody seeing it, and the energy came with it. So going into that like fourth quarter phase, going into the seventh station, it was just there. Everybody was trying to win. We're bringing each other up, making sure, you feel me, no one's leaning down or tired. Just making sure everybody got that grit to them to keep going and finish out through the drill.
And Nolan, what are your expectations for a leader in your room?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to raise the competitiveness in the room, right? Like, we got guys coming in here to raise the competitiveness of the rest of our group and make everybody better, right? Elevate the room. And, for these guys, like, one thing I'm super proud about them, as well as Ronan and, the older guys in our group, just like all the extra stuff they've been doing, coming in on Saturdays, right? And really being the lead for the team on that day, right? Guys just coming in, doing a little bit extra, right? Just doing a little bit more than what's required or expected, right? And that's something we take a lot of pride in. And I'm proud of those guys for just how they've come in and gone to work, right? With a humble mindset, not trying to overstep, but coming in and really building that bond with the rest of the group and just being a tight-knit group, selfless group that's just going to come in and go to work. And that's really what I've seen out of these two guys and Ronan as well. And so it's been encouraging.
I thought it was really illuminating, not only the leadership, but also like to your point, the mental toughness and the physical conditioning that, it looked like it was period 2 and you guys were just bouncing around and having fun. And this is with Coach Dennis Love running the show. It was never easy to begin with, but D Love's not playing around, is he?
Yeah, y'all ready to get that work. That's what he ready to do.
Yeah, y'all learned that real quick. One of the other things I thought was interesting too is again, for our fans who don't get to see mat drills because it's just a team event. After each session, the coaches will get together and put their heads together, and it's not just who performed, who finished well, body language, leadership, all these things, and coach will hand out all-in chips that are voted on by the coaches and staff. Literally anyone can say no and scratch guys off the list. And if I recall correctly, I know Corey for sure, and I can't remember, Jerome, if you did or not, got all-in chips on day 1. And then the other day, the morning session, coach calls up both the freshmen and the seniors and asks them to say, hey, who's a teammate we need to recognize? Like, who's someone who's done a great job, who that you'll go into battle with, that you can trust? And both of you guys were called out by your teammates as guys like that'll be in the foxhole with them that they can trust. What does it mean to earn your teammates' trust as we sit here in mid-February?
I mean, a lot. Just coming from just being a player on the team and already getting recognized by our teammates like that. It feels great.
Facts. I mean, everything. We gotta be connected to go to the places we want to go. So just continue to build that connectivity and continue to work.
What has the reception been like from your teammates, and who are some of the guys who have been here that y'all have leaned on amid your transition?
I say a huge one. Yeah, it's a couple. I say a lot of guys on the team I got pretty comfortable with them quick. They came with open arms and happily they brought me to this family. So just to mention a couple, I say Ronan Hanflin, he was big, just helping us with playbooks, being able to study, getting our feet wet. So also Ashton Hampton helped us on and off the field, just getting us comfortable, getting us around the guys more, just building that relationship. So
yeah, to piggyback off what he said, Ashton Hampton, Ronan, TJ Moore, just a lot of those guys, they welcome us in with open arms, and as a new transfer, that's huge, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people at other schools, not to put nobody down or nothing, but it's not like that. It's a different culture.
It's a lot of just segregate things. Like, people got cliques here, cliques there. So yeah.
Well, in a lot of places, the guys are trying to protect what's theirs, right? Yeah. Of like, no, I paid my time here. This is my time. But this is something I'm curious to hear about from all of you. Like, there's a hunger around here. Like, what happened last season? Like, guys are not looking to repeat what happened last season. Like, guys want to win, and they want dudes alongside him who can win and also want to win. That, like, I think that changes the mindset too. And have y'all felt that?
Yeah,
no doubt. No doubt. I'll say that everybody know that last year's season wasn't normal. So just going into the mat drills, just the 3 days that we already had, you could see everybody grit and hunger to get back on track next season. So definitely feel that.
And nobody can change the outcome but us as players, and we got to put the work in and all be close-knit, like he was talking about earlier, because we going to be the ones on the field playing together. And is this the time for us to, build those bonds to where when we in close games like that, we can trust on the person to our right and left.
And Nolan, I mean, you've been on some of the greatest teams in Clemson history, incredibly talented teams, but as Coach Sweeney likes to say, if it was talent alone, Clemson wouldn't have won those championships. I mean, the 2018 team, it was 18 first-round picks on the other sideline against 8 or 9 on ours or whatever it was. But you had teams that were incredibly connected, together, hungry. I mean, on top of being immensely talented, obviously. That's something that I don't think you can judge in mid-February, but at least from your experience on you being on some of the greatest teams in school history, are you seeing the early seeds of what you want to see from your unit and this defense?
Yeah, I think so. And I think you hit on it. Like, I think the biggest things within a team is the connectivity, right? And just like the bond on and off the field, right? Like guys got to spend time together, right? You got to get to know your teammates, get to know your brothers, and those relationships really last a lifetime. Like, I still talk to so many of those dudes from those teams to this day, and I've been in weddings and, go to guys come back and visit and like getting to see familiar faces, and just because you remember all just those times that you've been through. You remember the mat drills, you remember the practices, you remember the fall camp, and the games you lost, the big games you won. Like, you remember all that stuff. And I think just something in common that all those teams had was just the hunger and the drive, right? And, I remember, I think it was after the 2018 national championship, I was with Trevor, and we're walking down the hallway after the game. And I mean, like, when we're back here in the facility, we're walking down the hallway, and he looks at me, he's like, man, the hardest part about winning the national championship is? And I'm like, what? Well, I don't know. We just won. And he's like, man, we got to go do this whole thing over again. And, I'm like, dang, yeah, like, workouts start tomorrow, right? And so it's just, the ability not just to go win, but like to have the drive to go do it again. You know what I'm saying? And that was our goal. And, that next year we ended up going 14-0 and get beat in the national championship that following year. And obviously had a great year and, didn't finish the goal that we had. But it's just, it's about the ability to go want to do it again, right? It's that just competitive stamina that guys have. And I think that competitive stamina factor is something that's, not always measured, from the outside, but the teams that have that are usually pretty successful.
Yeah, Corey and Jerome, if y'all hadn't heard the phrase competitive stamina, y'all just wait until the start of training camp meetings, and you'll hear it from Coach Sweeney. I'm curious, whenever y'all learned that you were going to be playing for Nolan Turner as your safeties coach, did y'all Google it? Did you go on YouTube and try to find highlights? Have y'all watched Nolan Turner play?
I was just telling him about that. It was a game when they played Ohio State. Nolan ended the game with a pick. Yeah.
Well, it's funny you should say that. I tell you what, Joe, we're going to go out of order here. Let's go to the monitor.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
And so
check him out.
Scans downfield.
Come here.
Don't watch the drive before this. If you go back and watch the game.
Nah, I watched the game.
You're going to hear Herb Street mention that here in a second, actually.
Turner has his eyes on the football, and Olave beat Turner earlier for a touchdown, and this time Turner comes up with the answer in a game-winning interception.
Got it with some swag too.
That's what I'm talking about.
And smart to get down. Let's work on the coaching point here. As we for those who are listening via audio, we encourage you all to join us on YouTube or Clemson Plus so you can see what we're seeing. Although I imagine if you're a Clemson fan, you can probably imagine what you're seeing pretty vividly for those of us who remember it happening live. Nolan, Coach Sweeney loves to talk about this play somewhat as a reminder of resilience. Because, I mean, you intercepted that ball to end the game, to go 14-0, to send Clemson back to the national championship on almost the exact same spot where Olave had scored earlier in the quarter. like almost literally like the exact same patch of grass. What does this say about mental toughness, and what kind of like life lesson and coaching point away from just the fundamentals of it all can you take away from that play?
Yeah, I think, kind of the cliche thing that everybody says when you're playing DB is what? It's next play mentality, right? You play defense long enough, like you're going to get beat, right? And obviously at this point I was I think a third, fourth year player. I've been through the ups and downs of the game, right? And this is just like, to your point of, getting beat on one play and coming back and making the next play, right? It's just the next play mentality, right? It's just the mental toughness, the stuff that we're trying to develop out here in mat drills, right?
Yeah.
If we can break you out here at mat drills, then whatever team we play can break you, right? And that's just kind of the mindset you have to have, right? It's just no matter what happens, we're always looking forward to what's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about the Mount Rushmore earlier, of the plays of Nolan Turner's Clemson career. This is we can probably just cut 3 images of this from it. But there is one that I don't think it's talked about, and it is the first defensive tackle of Nolan Turner's career. So the third tackle of your career, you had 2 on special teams before this, but Clemson is rolling Louisville in 2017, and looks like Louisville has got the first team offense out there, and a quarterback you guys might have heard of is still in the game, and we've got Nolan out there. Joe, let's go ahead and roll the footage.
Hey, went back to the archives for this one.
From the pocket, looking to escape, and he'll be dragged down at the 5. That's Nolan Turner, the backup.
I hadn't earned any celebrations yet.
It's funny because right there, Chris Fowler says something to the effect of, yeah, now he'll be able to say he tackled a Heisman Trophy winner one time, almost like a throwaway line. Like you were just, and to be fair, at that point, you kind of were just some guy off the street.
No question.
Little did he know that, you'd be an All-American 3 years later and part of multiple national championship game appearances and all of that. It is, to your credit, your resume has a tackle for loss in the open field of Lamar Jackson and the practice interception of Tom Brady. That's a nice little resume you put together.
Yeah, for the college level, it's pretty nice.
So you guys, Joe, let's run it back here. Just give me a grade of how Nolan does here in terms of, looks like he's maybe spying and closing the gap here.
It looked pretty good.
That's an elite play right there.
Yeah, it looked pretty good to me.
If he don't make that tackle, he scores.
Shoulder square, track the back hip, right?
A guy who's known for making people miss too. I mean, that's not some random quarterback that he had to go get on the ground in space.
Yeah.
All right, that'll conclude our fun with video. I mean, I've driven the conversation a lot here, but I'm curious, Jerome and Corey, we see the drive you all have in football, but who are y'all off the field? Like, what do our fans need to know about you when you're not playing ball? Are you cooking? Are you Madden and 2K? Like, who are you guys away from ball?
Sometimes I'm a 2K guy. In my free time, I like to watch film though. Go shopping, eat, just the normal things. Talk to my family and stuff. Catch up with my homeboys from the crib, my cousins and stuff like that.
Yeah, I say on my free time, I'm a gamer. Like, okay. I'm a big gamer. I've been playing games since I was a kid, so I play the game heavy when I ain't at the facility. Free time, I talk to my fam and just play the game, be in my own world for real.
Any game in particular?
I say like Warzone. I'm a real Warzone guy.
Do you know if anybody in the building can touch you on that, or you
I don't think so. Okay. I don't think so. I haven't found out yet, but I don't think so.
Jerome, you said you like to eat. If you could choose right now, what are you doing for dinner?
Alfredo.
Okay, I like that.
So Alfredo.
Good call. Good call. I want to open the floor to you all. I mean, our fans are just getting to know you again. They've read about you, but they hadn't really heard from you. I mean, if you could just talk to them directly, what do you want them to know about you, whether that's as a person or as a player?
I'll say, like, I'm a caring guy. So, like, I really just get to know people. Just want to sit there and talk, pick your brain, know what you like to do, what you do in your free time, basically. So just get to connect with people. I say I'm real high social, get to learn people and talk a lot, actually. So Just chill guy. Just like to chill a lot. So
I'm going to interrupt real quick before you go, Jerome, because you're going to fit in great here because of that. Because I don't know, I'm hoping you guys have felt it by now, but the Clemson family thing is real. Like, this fan base cares deeply about the guys on this roster. And they don't just want you to win here. They want you to have a great experience at Clemson. Like, it matters to them that people treat you well, that you guys enjoy this community, that y'all are proud to say that you went to Clemson. And, like, exactly what you said is the type of thing that our fans love about a lot of the guys on our roster and so many that have played here. And Nolan, I think you can probably speak to that too, right?
Oh, no question. I mean, you can really feel it from this fan base. I mean, all around the state, different places you go, you'll see that Paul everywhere, right? And we have a very passionate fan base. They show up, man, week in, week out. Like, those people are here. And we appreciate them and all that they do for this program and just the pride they take in Clemson, right? They've got high expectations, and so do we, right? And they expect us to win. They expect us to play well, and I wouldn't want it any other way, right? Playing for a school that has a history of winning and expectations like that. So,
no doubt.
Jerome, I cut you off. If you had a message to the Clemson family about who you are, what would you want it to be?
I say the same thing like Corey. I like to meet new people. I'm a cool guy. If you see me, you can, what I'm saying, come meet and greet. But yeah, I'm just a cool guy.
And Nolan, your message to the Clemson family to, you've been back at Clemson for a couple of years, but to be back in this elevated role, and also your message to what's going to be the next wave of safeties that are looking to come play for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think first things first, like, I'm a competitive guy, right? I want to win in everything I do. And I think that kind of mindset has carried me to where I am today, right? When I come in here as a, quote unquote under-recruited guy and, probably didn't have a lot of high expectations. And to me, I was just trying to prove it to myself every day that I belonged here, right? And now it's really the same way as a coach. Like, come in and, as a young coach, right, trying to prove the same thing. And you can't fake it, right, in coaching. Like, your guys know. The guy either knows what he's talking about or he doesn't, right? You can't fake it to these kids, like, because they know, right? And you can't get up there and lead a group of men and not be confident and be unsure of yourself and not know what you're talking about. And I'm really just, looking to just pour into these guys, right? From all the mistakes I've made, from the success that I've had, like, take my experiences and pour that into those guys, right or wrong. And that's just something from playing the game and now from coaching the game that I feel like I can do for them. And I enjoy every minute of it. I love being around the workouts, love coming in and watching tape with the guys and being around on the weekends. And, I'm just like a football junkie, and I love the game. So it's really a blessing to be back. And I'm really looking forward to this year and leading these group of young men.
Well, guys, it's been really a privilege to chat with you and get to learn about you a little bit more and really introduce you to a fan base that, based on everything we can tell in terms of both your personalities and the types of players you are, is going to just absolutely love y'all. As much fun as it's been watching y'all match drills, I can't wait to get the helmets on here soon and actually watch y'all play some ball. Before we go, I want to make sure we get your followers up. Where can our fans find you guys on social media?
On Instagram, J_Wade_3. That's it.
I'll say on Instagram, Corey Myrick on Instagram.
Yep. All right, go find these guys. Guys, can't wait to see you on the field this spring, and more importantly for our fans, see you on the field this fall. So that'll wrap us up. That'll wrap us up from Studio C of the Clemson Athletics Branding Institute. Make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next episode of Two Right Turns, a Clemson Football Podcast.